Hello and welcome to Study IQ English. Let's talk about the Coco Islands because they are making news right now. Now, India is expressing a shock, a concern, a confusion over a recent comment made by Myanmar Janta, which has told India that don't worry, there is nothing to be concerned about. Be assured that there is no Chinese presence in the Coco Island in the Bay of Bengal. Now, these islands are a strategic point. They are very close to India's own Andaman and Nicobar Island, and India is worried that for the last few years, China is up to something. China is not only expanding its infrastructure, but China is also creating its strategic military bases in the Coco Island. So therefore, as Myanmar assures us that there is nothing to worry about, and there is no Chinese presence here in this geo-sensitive area, the Coco Island, the Indian government is finding this hard to believe because Indian government has said if there is no Chinese presence, then why don't you allow us to visit the island? Why are you stopping us from surveying the island? It happened as Indian Navy has requested to visit the island, but the Myanmar Janta has right now not accepted the request. So therefore, India feels the rejection or the delay of request of India's inspection of the Coco Island could mean that this sensitive area in the Bay of Bengal, which is very close to India's own landfall island, could mean that there is something suspicious that's happening here. So yes, we are talking about the Coco Islands that are in the news. You can see in the map on your screen how the area is a very geostrategically important. Because if you look at Indian territory, then here is the Indian landfall island, the Andaman and the Nicobar territory. And quite near is the Myanmar island of Coco. Here it is, making a strategic point in the Bay of Bengal. Since it is very close to Indian territory, Chinese presence in this area could only mean China can now have a better surveillance of everything that's happening in India, of the various surveillance facilities that India has, of the various missile launches that India does from the Balasore test range, as well as India's own Rambili, which is very near Vishakhapatnam, a very important naval base for India. So therefore, our concern is valid that China, which anyway has an expansionist agenda, could be up to something in the Coco Island. Now, there were a lot of rumors in the news. Some people also said that long back during the 1950s, India had readily given the Coco Island to Myanmar. But later it was proved that no, that is not a valid observation. In fact, the Coco Islands belonged to the British Indian government for a long time. After that, they became an integral part of Myanmar. So India never really had any sovereign rights on them. But it's true, somewhere that China had taken the Coco Island on lease from Myanmar. That is a news that has a lot of data to believe. So therefore, we talk about the Coco Islands for the UPSC exam, a very important place in the news. So Coco Islands are a small group of islands. It's an island chain that's located in the Bay of Bengal. As you just saw, it is a part of Myanmar. Because of that, the Great Coco Island, that is the largest island in this entire Coco chain, lies just about 55 kilometers from India's location in Andaman and Nicobar. So you imagine the strategic sensitivity of the area, very near India's own territory. You could see the map how close it is. So naturally, it's a matter of security compromise for India. And no matter what Myanmar is saying, we have reasons to worry. We need to be transparent about it. Okay, so geologically talking, these Coco Islands are nothing but an extension of the division of Arakan mountain range, which are also known as the Rakhine Mountains. They are submerged in the Bay of Bengal. It is the entire stretch which later emerges in the form of Andaman and Nicobar. So although sovereignty-wise it belongs to Myanmar, but talking about the geographical location, India has a good amount of overlap with this entire area. Okay, so today the issue is that Myanmar denies. It says India will not have a security threat. There is no China here. But why would India believe that? In the past, China has done enough for us to believe that China's eyes are on the Coco Island. Here as well, you can see the location of the Coco Islands in the Bay of Bengal. Extremely near Indian region. Okay, now having said that, officially Myanmar is saying, as I said, that nothing to worry about. But if you go by the satellite image, if you go by the data, if you go by the reports and observations of people, then we have enough information to believe that China has a massive control on this territory. Back in the 1994, people also believed that it was Myanmar which had given these islands on lease to China. And China then went on with its military expansion here, naval bases here, surveillance points here. So the main purpose has been to host China's electronic intelligence station, from where China collects all the military information about the nearby countries, key amongst them being India. So strategically, these islands are located at a very critical junction, which allows China to keep monitoring India's naval movement, India's defense ships, India's missile activities, as well as India's shipping pattern in the Indian Ocean and the Malacca Strait. Now, earlier also I had told you Malacca Strait is very important right now. It's a choke point. Again, a very important political choke point, because majority of the tariff, majority of the trade of goods, it all overlaps this region. From the Europe into the South Asia, the Southeast Asia, a majority of trade happens through the Strait of Malacca, sandwiched between the islands of Indonesia and Singapore. For India, it is very important today. No wonder India has recently also launched the Great Nicobar project, among much opposition, among much environmental concerns. But India says, not only do we need to have more presence in the Indian Ocean region, we also need to be sure that we want to participate in monitoring and patrolling the Strait of Malacca. So India has also offered patrolling of the island, all to keep Chinese intentions at bay. Okay, so remember, among the places in the news, you do have the Coco Islands, you have the Landfall Island, plus you also have the Strait of Malacca, which has been in the news across this whole month. That is September 2025. Now looking at why is India so worried today? So it's not about today. India has been worried about activities happening in the Coco Island for quite some time now, although Myanmar's Janta keeps on denying. Why? Because Myanmar has been allowing China to establish, to carry on surveillance, to allow tracking Indian missile launches from the Balasore test range. So India will naturally be worried. It is about sharing critical defense information to an enemy country, of course. At the same time, this gives China, the presence in the Coco Island gives China the facility to track India's nuclear ballistic submarines that travel to the newly constructed naval base at Rambili. That's very near Vishakhapatnam, a key naval base for India right now. At the same time, the nuclear and conventional missile test that happens from the APJ Abdul Kalam Island are also located at the same latitude as that of Coco Island. So the geographical proximity has created a security threat. That's something we need to think about. So therefore, China has been involved in infrastructural expansion. China has been conducting too much naval stations, electronically monitored offices in the island. So naturally, India will have the reasons to worry about. And that's making a controversy right now. Okay. Now, if you have a look here, then we must also talk about how in India, in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, you have a very, very sensitive geographical area, and this is it. It's known as Vijayanagar. Very few people would know about this, but we need to understand that for India, it is a border region. It is a region that overlaps with international boundary. So therefore, India has security concerns here. And we are talking about how China is also involved in sending illegal insurgents into Indian territory, which carry arms, which carry weapons. And all of this is happening from North Myanmar area, because Indian borders are very close to the state. Particularly, as I mentioned on the map, it is the Vijayanagar. The Vijayanagar salient, that's the name we give it, the Vijayanagar salient. It's a very thin, protruding external stretch that is found in the state of Arunachal. It almost comes out at an angle, which is very, very visible. It's right here. So this becomes a very critical point for India. It is a very remote, geographically isolated area. It's a narrow piece of land, Indian territory, but it is located in such a place that enters in the neighboring Myanmar. And that's where Chinese troops, Chinese insurgents keep taking advantage. Okay, and it is surrounded by Myanmar on three sides, this Vijayanagar strip, as well as it is surrounded by the Namdhapa National Park on one side. So from all four sides, it is a very, very sensitive area. And that's what gives China an external edge, right? And that's the reason why today the Indian government is worried about the Coco Islands and now talking about how China is a country that we will always be wary about. Despite the fact that we just met in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, India, China, Russia, they all together created a trio. Much more defense partnership, much more enhancement of trade. India, China issuing visas to each other, more people mobility. Apart from that, the new Tianjin Declaration that came out of the SCO summit. All these things were showing that India-China relationship is now acquiring a new positive dimension. Perhaps it is. But it doesn't mean that India is going to be blind towards security threats. Because China, we all know, is known for a very aggressive expansion agenda. We can talk about the 9-dash line. We can talk about the string of pearls policy of China. So look how China has been expanding its military and naval bases throughout the Indian Ocean region. It all starts from the state of Malacca, that's in the news right now, and it goes up to the Horn of Africa. Okay, the Eastern African region. These are known as pearls of China. These include certain strategic ports like that of Gwadar port in Pakistan, a key ally of China. Similarly, you have the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. We also talk about the Djibouti port in Africa. All of these are providing China a greater access, a better presence in the region, more influence in the IOR. In fact, if you are watching the news analysis every day, you might also know that right now as India and UK have signed a major defense deal. India-UK Vision 2035 is happening right now. So both the countries are also doing a joint naval exercise, Exercise Konkan. One key agenda of Exercise Konkan is also to counterbalance China's increasing influence in the IOR, in the Indian Ocean region. Apart from that, we also know about China's 9-dash line. We also know about China's BRI, the Belt and the Road Initiative. That's also in the news often because this is the new Silk Road created by China. The purpose is to create infrastructural expansion in other countries by investing in them. Ultimately, it is a part of the larger debt trap diplomacy. Give loans to countries, enhance their infrastructure, and eventually they become like your economic colony or an economic ally. So with this kind of a Chinese footprint, why should India not be worried? And that's the Coco Island controversy. Now talking about India, if China has its own string of pearls policy, India responds by having its own necklace of diamonds strategy. And what does that mean? That means India now wants to encircle China by creating its own strategic footprint in the world. And this happens as India is also strategically associated with the Chabahar port, Iran. Quite in the news in 2025. Then comes the Sabang port in Indonesia. We often hear about the Sittwe port in Myanmar. It was also in the news when the military junta conflict was happening. And the Mongla port, Bangladesh, the Shanghai naval base in Singapore. So this is like a counter strategy from India. But all in all, since China's influence is only on the rise, India has all the reasons to worry about the Coco Island. So therefore, do remember the place in the news. Do remember its strategic location in the map. Okay. Now, having said that, let's also quickly look at the important question here. It's a practice prelims question. It says, with reference to global connectivity initiatives, consider the following statements here. The first statement is about the Belt and the Road Initiative aims to improve, to enhance connectivity through Asia, Europe and Africa through infrastructural development and trade link. Second, India is a founding member of the BRI, the Belt and the Road Initiative. And India has signed the BRI Memorandum of Understanding with China. And the third one, the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, often called as the IMEC, is about connecting India with Europe through the Middle East by using both maritime and rail routes. Last, the IMEC, the India Middle Eastern Europe Economic Corridor, was announced as India was leading the G20 summit that happened in India in 2023 at New Delhi. So which of these statements do you think are valid? It's an easy question. You can try to answer and post it here. If you have any opinion about Chinese policy of expansion, if you have any sentiment, any perspective that you want to share for UPSC on the Coco Island controversy, please feel free to do the same. And as I take your leave, here's a quick reminder about the sale that we are having on our platform. So at Study IQ IAS, if you are preparing for the UPSC exam 2026, then we call this the target year, the target fast track batch, because very little time is left now. So you can give a professional edge to your preparation by enrolling for the sale. That's for 2026 batch. Across various GS subjects and heavy discounts on the optionals. All you need to do is to type the code SPLIVE on your screen. The prices are as humble as 7499 only. But then even if you are preparing for UPSC 2027 or 2028, there is enough time to explore, to learn and to go for correct, right, good mentorship. So once again, you can apply for various GS courses. Yes, we have it in English, Hindi, in English. We have the morning batch as well as the evening batch. Once again, either you can use code SPLIVE and then take this beneficial course only at 18,999. Similar applies for batch 2028 if you're preparing for the same. Now, if you want us to get back to you, you can also fill up a form that's here in the description box of this video. Once you do that, you will hear back from us and then also you can clarify your doubts regarding the course. With this, all the very best. If you like such initiatives, then do like, share and subscribe Study IQ English. Thank you so much.